And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week. Infrastructure is back in the news, a word we all thought we knew the meaning of until the Biden administration began to tell us what they thought it meant, which was essentially whatever they determined they wanted to spend more of our tax money on. Digging deeper into the pocketbooks of every taxpayer has been a hallmark of this administration, and they've used infrastructure to cover for it. Now comes a 2,700-page bill. Ask yourself who's actually read that the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business, one of the more highly respected institutions in America, says will add about $350 billion, that's with a B, dollars to the deficit. You know what all this says goes back to what Everett Dirksen once told us, which was $1 billion here and $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking about real money. And now we're talking about trillions. And although the quote-unquote good news is that this spending package has been reduced to roughly $1 trillion, it still is on top of trillions already spent in the name of economic recovery and infrastructure. And the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that, in effect, one of the things that the infrastructure package has done is to codify the Green New Deal in many respects, because included in there is a lot of corporate welfare, yes, subsidies for corporations on projects of very questionable value that wouldn't otherwise get funded, but now have a finance stream through the pocketbook of every Pennsylvania and United States taxpayer. Something wrong there. Let's get back to roads, bridges, ports, even broadband, real infrastructure. The American people support spending on those projects, but I think they've got real questions about some of the stuff the Biden administration wants. Elon Musk is telling us that his company, Tesla, wasn't invited to the White House summit on electric cars. Now, you've got to wonder why the biggest manufacturer of electric cars in the country isn't invited. Well, Jen Psaki tells us we should make up our own minds. I bet we can. And again, shame on the Biden administration. 3 cheers for Elon Musk. And a more sober note. At the southern border, the crisis continues, something the Biden administration didn't want to even acknowledge, the word crisis. But it continues. And now Congressman Chip Roy is saying that Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, should be impeached over his failures to just follow the law at the southern border and to put a stop to the incredible rate of illegal immigration coming across the southern border every day. You know, Secretary Mayorkas' incompetence is the only thing that exceeds his arrogance. He should be impeached. Congressman Roy is right. We ought to get back to following the law there. And you're seeing now a call, bipartisan by the way, for a border czar, an admission that what this administration has been doing hasn't worked. It began on January 20th, and it's continued ever since, and it has to be stopped. And finally, on a sadder note, the world this week lost Rich Trumka, the head of the AFL-CIO, who died of an apparent heart attack at age 72. A coal miner's son and a coal miner himself, he came from Nemacolin, Pennsylvania, where now sits a very fabulous resort. He rose through the ranks, became the youngest head of the UMW, and then later became the head of the AFL. Though we didn't agree on a lot of subjects, he did go to the best law school in the country, that's Villanova in case you wondered, and he was a man who understood what so many of our brethren in organized labor understand, and that is the importance of jobs. And for that reason, he was able to cooperate with the business community on several issues, not all, but several. In any event, he was a worthy competitor, an adversary at times, and a great ally when you were on the same team. May he rest in peace. Rich Trumka, gone too early. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.